introduced the free SHS in 2015 will turn around to launch a lethal campaign attack on same policy. Who in his right frame of mind would introduce a policy in 2015 and a year down the line speak vehemently against same policy? It doesn't just add up, ladies and gentlemen. Again, candidate Mahama on October 1st, 2018, when he was campaigning to be the flag bearer of the NDC again, just 2018, reiterated his aversion to free SHS, stating that it will undergo a review and hinted on the possibility of the policy being scrapped because to him, it is unthinkable to spend a whopping 2 billion Ghana cedis on free SHS. And he said this to the students of University of Cape Coast, I remember very well. And that it is seriously constricting government's budget. Number 4, Mr. Mahama on November 25th, 2017, stated that the Lala Sulala and the Sakawa free SHS will fail. The then Minister of Education, Lee Okran, on 10 September 2012 also said the free SHS can only be possible in the year 2032. In his own estimation, 20 years' time. We can go on and on. A lot of attacks from the NDC. Indeed, they orchestrated over 46 radio and television adverts just against free SHS. Fellow youth, the shambolic SHS subsidy, this is what they call the progressively free SHS. All that they did was to introduce a subsidy of 38.94 Ghana cedis out of the 405 and 50 pesos Ghana cedis fee per term. This is what candidate Mahama is claiming to be his progressively free SHS. What this meant was that their students who were the only beneficiary had to pay an average of 370 Ghana cedis fee each term. This was woefully insignificant and could not reduce the number of qualified students who were unable to go to school upon gaining admission, and also students who dropped out as a result of poverty. Let me hasten to add that under this lame subsidy, boarding students who were in the majority paid full fees and other related expenses. So Mr. Mahama only introduced a subsidy of 38 Ghana cedis, and then he christened it progressively free SHS. Such deception, such lies. The NPP government in 2017 inherited huge debt at the Education Ministry. It is instructive to note that the little over 30 million cost associated with the SHS subsidy under Mahama government was not even paid. Even the so-called subsidy, the 32 Ghana cedis he was even paying for the day students, even that he could not even pay. The NPP government, upon assumption of office, had to clear the arrears and clean up the mess. It is therefore shameful for candidate Mahama to tout a failed policy which he was unable to fund. Fellow youth, under the holistic and impactful free SHS policy of President Akufo-Addo, tuition fee is free. Number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, you can help me. Admission fee is free. Library fee is free. Science center fee is free. Computer science lab is free. Utility fee is free. Test Textbooks are free. Boarding fee is free. Nutritious meals given to free boarding and day students are also free. So, ladies and gentlemen, you can do the comparison yourself. To date, over 1.2 million students have benefited from President Akufo-Addo's free SHS program, which has expanded access to the secondary education and enabled an extra 400,000 students to enroll in the senior high school. According to WAEC, the 2020 is the only year in the past 6 years that more than 50% of candidates obtained A1 to A6 in all core subjects. And you recall that the naysayers, they were saying that we have compromised quality and that free SHS was only going to breed poor results. Here we are, 2020, first graduate from the Akufo-Addo free SHS, obtained A1 to A6, more than 50% in about 6 years. This is very, very, very impressive. Then we move on to the deceptive Faninyina campaign promise. Fellow youth, you recall that 2 days ago, the NDC issued a press statement to abnormally amend part of their 2020 manifesto that captured the so-called Chimpe policy, a promise to absorb 50% fee for tertiary students. In the said statement, the claim is made that in order to enhance the Chimpe policy, they are amending it with Faninyina policy, thus the assumption of 100% of academic fee, year fee for tertiary students. This is a deceptive scam. And I say this because I have in hand a copy of the statement, badly written, not on only, it is not even on their official letterhead, it is not signed, and it was just unleashed to us. Ladies and gentlemen, this is an ill-conceived campaign promise smuggled through the back door to add up to the litany of failed and uninspiring manifesto promises. The shambolic Faninyina promise being the last straw that the NDC desperately seek to anchor their drowning campaign. Campaign, no, ayade, atonso. Their drowning campaign, barely a week to the elections, is not only a propaganda tool, but it's also a sickening scam directed at downplaying the intelligence of voters. And we will tell you why. And this will not happen. Number one, the NDC has over the period said that their 2020 manifesto contains programs and policies proposed by the people of Ghana. The Chimpe promise, which was made to believe that it was true and accurate reflection of the aspirations of the needs of the ordinary Ghanaians, has conspicuously changed. Isn't this strange that the people who supposedly asked for Chimpe at the delicate period when COVID-19 had slowed economic activities, would vary their demands and ask for Faninyina when economic activities have picked up momentum according to reliable data from Ghana's Statistical Service? The flip-flop disposition of candidate Mahama and his NDC tells us that they are confused and they lack ideas, and desperately they think that they can say all these things for political power. Number two, again, the Ghanaian youth is of the strong conviction that the shambolic Faninyina campaign promise, scruffily and hastily put together, is a knee-jerk reaction to the big announcement that was made recently by the Scholarship Secretariat, that it was going to open up the scholarship portals for tens of thousands of young people, that is a Kufuor graduates, to apply and gain scholarship to further their education. That can help the poor and the vulnerable to finance their tertiary education without stress. Number 3, fellow youth, under Mohammed's administration, tertiary students were made to pay utility bills. And I'm saying this at a time when we had the man-made, the self-inflicted pandemic from the then president, President Mahama, former President Mahama, who superintended over the 5 years reign of Dumso Dumso. At a time we were experiencing Dumso Dumso, Mr. Mahama wrote a letter dated 17th March 2014 and addressed to Professor Ayite, the then chairman of Vice Chancellor's Ghana, the Electricity Company of Ghana, acting on the instructions of President Mahama then, informed the tertiary institutions that effective January 2014, you are to pay all your utility bills. You are therefore requested to make necessary arrangement to settle your utility bills. End of quote. It is disheartening to note that, especially in the University of Cape Coast, resident students were billed 900 Ghana cedis, and non-resident students were billed 500 Ghana cedis. This insensitive act by Mr. Mahama, especially when we had Dumso Dumso, brought untold hardship to students and parents. But for the intervention of President Kufuor, tertiary students would still be paying utility bills. Let me say, does this policy to let students pay their utility bills, His Excellency the President reversed it in 2017. From the foregoing, it can be justifiably concluded that Mr. Mahama, who could not even pay bills, utility bills, for students, when we had a pandemic he himself engineered, who could not pay utility bills for students, cannot pay entire fees for tertiary students. It is not possible. He lacks credibility, and his deeds are there to show. Number 4, as a president of Ghana, candidate Mahama could not even pay 37 million subsidy he himself introduced, and what he claimed to be progressively free SHS. He could not even foot that bill. I can confidently say that he lacks the credibility and the capacity to mobilize over 2.5 billion needed to pay or needed to finance his deceptive Faninina promise. Number 5, fellow youth, as evidence in Mr. Mahama's statement, it doesn't make sense to invest. This is a precedent. Just 2018, he told Ghanaians that he does not find it tenable to invest 2 billion Ghana cedis in education. Ladies and gentlemen, he said he would not invest 2 billion cedis in education. How can such a political or a formal leader invest 2.5 billion in paying fees for tertiary students? You could not pay utility bills for students. You are even saying that you don't even believe in the fact that government should spend 2 billion on education, on free SHS, and that it is constricting government's budget. And today, you are in opposition leader, and you are making this flimsy, frivolous promises. Out of incompetence and mismanagement, Mr. Mahama cancelled the allowance payable to both teacher trainee and nursing trainees. And on that account, he cannot be trusted. We all recall how stubbornly former President Mahama cancelled teacher trainee allowance, nursing trainee allowance, at a point when the students were begging him. Students were still calling on his office that they needed these allowances. This is what he told them, that even if it will cost him the elections, even if he was going to lose the elections, he was never going to reintroduce the cancellation of these allowances. You could not even pay 70 million and 84 million for both teacher trainee and nursing trainee respectively. And today you are telling us that you can mobilize 2.5 million to pay free tertiary education. This is a scam. If candidate Mahama cancelled the book and research allowance initiated by the NPP's administration of President Kufuor to aid university lecturers in the performance of their academic work, then he cannot pay 100% fee for tertiary students. This is the same man who cancelled the book and research allowance. We came and we have reintroduced it. And today, because you said that again, it was constraining government's budget, so you had to cancel it. So how can the Ghanaian you trust you that you are going to pay their full bills? Never. This is a scam. Lastly, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Mahama as president could not pay the feeding grant of senior high schools. Not only that, capitation grant was in huge arrears. Huge arrears. He could not even pay the feeding grant for schools in the northern part of Ghana, leading to the closure of these schools for weeks at the beginning of every academic term. Judging from this, our tertiary institutions risk closure and academic performance will be compromised in an unlikely event, that he becomes president. Never. It will never happen. It will never happen that you could not even pay capitation grant, feeding grant, and all of that. And today you are promising to pay, give free tertiary education. Then again, let me remind you, when His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, found it prudent to support Ghanaians in the midst of the pandemic, when Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was giving free water, free electricity, supporting the needy with food, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo initiated about 37 programs just to support Ghanaians in the midst of the pandemic. The former president said Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo was giving away freebies. He said freebies. So today, you are promising. He does not even believe in his own promises. You are promising to foot the bill of tertiary students when you yourself, you chastise the president for supporting Ghanaians. He cannot be trusted. Now, President Akufo-Addo is the man for the youth. Today, for and on behalf of the majority of Ghanaian youth who are proud of the sterling performance of the NPP government, I boldly declare that President Akufo-Addo is the man for the youth. This is because under the competent leadership of President Akufo-Addo, a whopping 1.2 million students have benefited from the life-changing free SHS and TVET policy. Number two, about 100,000 students have been granted both local and foreign scholarships. Thousands of Akufo-Addo's graduates will benefit from scholarships under the auspices of the Scholarship Secretariat, led by the hardworking Kingsley Agyemang. Over 93,700 youth have gained employment in the education sector since 2017. You recall that because of poor management of the economy, we were told by the former president, now candidate Mahama, that our resources have been stripped to the bone and we lack policy credibility. And for that matter, we have to run to IMF for a bailout. And we could not employ. Anytime the public sector would employ, it's either one person went on retirement, the other person resigned, or one person traveled. Today, again at the health sector, we have recruited over 90,900 health personnel. The 76 factories under one district, one factory program also have created a staggering 18,811 direct and 120,000 indirect jobs for the youth. 100,000 young persons have been employed under NAPCO. Under the forestry plantation program, 84,184 young persons have been employed. I always say that the Youth Employment Agency, under the leadership of Samir Awuku as the board chair and lawyer Justin Kodia Frimpong as CEO, the image of YEA is at all-time high. Now, young persons, 184,000 Ghanaians have been given jobs through the YEA. And don't forget, the NPP introduced YEA. It was National Youth Employment Program then in 2006. Nursing training allowance is restored. Teacher training allowance restored. Over 10,000 young persons have been recruited into the security services. The Youth Employment Agency, I've mentioned this already. The reopening of Obuasi gold mines, which collapsed under the NDC, is now creating 4,163 jobs. Fellow youth, the youth-related achievement of President Akufo-Addo hovers around 200. And because of time, and don't forget we had already challenged the NDC. We've brought in the first 60, they could not respond, and then we brought in the rest. They could not respond. We asked candidate Mahama to tell us what he did for the young people in this country when he was president. Today, Mr. Mahama is saying that he's going to create 1 million jobs in 4 years. Then he's talking about 250 in a year. We have gone past this stage. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has created 2,055,010 jobs already. We don't want mediocre performance. We have gone past that. We have gone past that. Now he's promising something he's called the 10 billion or whatever big push. Look, we were in this country. The same president who is now candidate Mahama, he brought in what was termed as the Hope City, 10 billion Hope City. This 10 billion Hope City became so hopeless. As we speak, we cannot even trace it. An artist came and performed, collected $1 million and went away. This was how our resources were dissipated under former President Mahama. Today, he is seeking and then he's promising jobs. When he was asked jobs by graduates, you recall, and it is well documented, that he said he was not a magician and that he cannot provide jobs. Today, you are promising jobs. When you were given the opportunity, you said you are not a magician to provide jobs. Today, you don't have that same opportunity and you are now promising jobs. This is a scam. He lacks the credibility, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, in the next 4 years of His Excellency the President's government, we shall implement the guarantee-free student loan, which will enable every Ghanaian, irrespective of their social status and financial strength, to access tertiary education without stress. You only have to provide a valid ID, Ghana card, passport, and there you go. You are given a guarantee-free loan. Establish the National Rental Scheme and seed money of 100 million. Set up 100 million fund for labor and faith organized organization for retraining and skill development. Establish an unemployment insurance scheme to provide temporary income support for workers who are laid off due to COVID-19 pandemic. Establish a 2 billion guarantee facility to support all large enterprises and for job creation. This will enable these businesses to borrow from the banks at an affordable rate and over a long tenure to adjust to the pandemic and to retain jobs. To accelerate growth, to accelerate sustainable job creation, the government will build Ghana's light manufacturing sector, including our capacity to manufacture machines, tools to support our industrialization program. Finalize the establishment of the bauxite refinery to complete the aluminium value chain. Complete the establishment of an iron and steel industry through the Ghana Integrated Iron and Steel Development Corporation. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow youth, no amount of propaganda and deceptive promises can salvage the drowning campaign of the NDC and the looming, resounding defeat of Mr. Mahama. The youth of Ghana are very focused. That is why today, the youth of NPP is embarking on the final boot on ground across the country. The youth at the polling stations, constituencies, regional and national level this morning started massive campaign and voter education in cities, towns, markets, lorry parks, toll booths, major street communities, villages, houses across the country. So no propaganda. And recently, you recall, just about a few days, 2 days ago, this fabricated, doctored, fake tape thrown into the media and into the public space that His Excellency the President, who was then candidate Akufo-Addo, was receiving bribe. Pathetic. And I'm happy that we have received some apology from some media houses. We are all partners in this game. But no amount of propaganda can save their campaign. Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's track record in terms of corruption and all of this bribery is unblemished. You cannot taint the man. So no amount of last-minute propaganda from John Mahama and his cohort will work. On December 7th, the youth of Ghana shall vote massively for President Akufo-Addo so that Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo can protect free SHS policy. The NDC and Mr. Mahama are threats to free SHS. Big threat to free SHS. We want Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo to continue to protect planting for food and jobs. The former NDC MP for NDC MP, he said he bought his first Land Cruiser from planting for food and jobs. People are giving testimonies all over. One district, one factory, we want to protect it. One village, one dam, we are going to protect it. One constituency, one ambulance, we are going to protect it. Northern Development Authority, we will protect it. Middle Development Authority, we shall protect it. Coastal Development Authority, we shall protect it. NAPCO, creating employment for 100,000 young persons, we are going to protect it. Ladies and gentlemen, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo has performed overwhelmingly better. Vote number 1. Vote the elephant. Protect our progress. One good term deserves another. 4 more to do more for you. And then, and to phone Rebecca say, oh yeah, number 1, oh. Oh yeah, number 1, oh. To Abama, no. Oh yeah, number 1, oh. Oh yeah, number 1, oh. To Abama, no. And all the parliamentary candidates across the nation, they are also number 1 on the ballot. Look no further. Number 1 for progress. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Abusanfo, ene ishemudie, eye ishemudie hu hia yepe aka nafua kakra bi na yakwa akoto aba. Na ene mabunu ye hyiai na ye friends and chofo wa ha. Niam mienu ana miensa. Nyedi kan eye former President Mahama. Atrosema okokan wo atifi mantamu se ono ene de free SHS ebae. Ne tosu mienu eye nanu ye nso mo sa de atrosem bi aba. Se eye school konto aso tertiary education. Omo be ni free, omo be tua bibia free. Ebiem ye wia ne yakatrem se Nanado Dankwa Akufo-Addo oye emabunu dachi. Abusiafo, former President Mahama osi ene on na de free SHS by eni wo sembe ni areho sembe ni. Former President Mahama ya de free SHS eba okasati aye osi eye sakawa osi lalasulala osi eye sikabotin 2 billion Ghana cedis a ye de hye eye school komuno ono kra de odadwe ho a onte ase na esika ne yesen no opani eto so kan se eye free SHS ebe ma ye school kwa asai na ye mofra no ekotro nsohwa omuntimi ntwa na ye school ko ebe tantantan ye basa we ye former president mama ne kasa asem yo yenya ye okrom ha na pomfo ensemo mo kan ye General Mosquito okujeto ablakwa omu nyina nsemo mo kan se free SHS enye ye yenim ni omo kan ye enne omo se omo na omo di free SHS bae na ni gidie boni a wanya no wuduma de krontia sanse otua sikafia bi eno kra wan sentua sa 38 Ghana cedis se wo for day student a oso wo hye bibiase ana free SHS na day students almost school fees aye 405 Ghana cedis. 405 Ghana cedis. Now President Mohammed tuamu 38 Ghana cedis. O tuamu 38 nto say free. Wawie. O si eye free o de bo ne ho asafo hene. Abusiafo we na ye pa ne ho ntoma. Ama no ehu se yesre no free SHS ye ka onimu chafa bia. Enye ne dia. Onim ho hwe onjindi na ne oka akra subsidy American say 38 Ghana ekwa won sentua na anu a ye paul na po so mbe ye Minister of Education oba ya na po ba no betua asesika no enti oboa enye ono a emom Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo be ma onsin so man sana waham ono ene ba ye ene ne ye school ko nya ye free ye mofra na ekwa aduane die eye free textbook see eye free omo uniforms on behye eye free library fee eye free PTA kra ye momu ntua bi bibia ye free eti wo kọ na unya oba wabọ mpaye ama no Nana Boache okoi bomodian ne kona kusua de o menkoye tutrasem bia na akwa no kusku free Nana do Danko Akufo-Addo na de bae. Eti Nana de o de bae nso ye mo from anya so mfaso no eye 1.2 million. O PPP echi ne ye po mienu bi. What you say? Eso papa. Na wo hwe ni day for na no 38 fia no de mo no kra na. Na day student nya just about 100,000. Enu kwa wantimi a wo de nkatua om school fees ni nyina ne nka se wo sha ase fi day student. One sha ase wo tua 38 Ghana cedis pe. Wo so ma bibi free. Atro ene ndada no ebi no. Edi e be semo. Se free SHS de emu animu nyam. Emu abasobode. Ehu asembia a ene aye kama. Na Ghana fo nya edi ho adanse na anoma amu Thomas Amoni abrantia wanya 8 years. Se genye free SHS a ne maame kasakwa no osu. Enye free SHS a otimi ko wo adeso SHS. Ne abofre ya se na nka waben. Enso abribia no ahokire enti na okwa afuom ansakwa na wotimi akọ school. Enne Thomas enya 8 years. Amonya scholarship a okọ amanone akwakotoa na djuma so maame bia na anu amehu no soso momone amane a yaho salmon a yaho fish mishane madina jom ono so asema a organize na na se wo hwe niema ya esum ya etimi tu admission fee eniema we esum etimi tu admission fee eniema we ebetimi ato uniforms dabi entimi nto abusia na nado Danko Akufo-Addo na nimonyama a wanya ewo eye free SHS no former president Mohammed Timi mfa na niwo emme ho kra ne tosu mienu ye bese no yen eye ade a ye ba betoa so na anu ade a na wo si wunyi ni wo so ba no ba betrem oboa eye ndada ye mpene ennan ya akai ema obia emba mbedada ye abusiafo ne tosu mienu nano yankote a nanse ye yo omo de sabia nyado sabia kronto krata fun bi bae wo hwe krata ya hwe krata yo hwe krata mo se national chairman e na tro onsan ye hwe omo draw NDC bi no mo de asiso eni omo official letterhead kwampo so na krata we say e ba be amend omo manifesto adaya nano yeka campaign dia tonsom nano yeka se chimpe na afide asesan ya adwen yese fa ni nyina wo nano former president Mahama wo teso ana yesu ye kasa students eni abre na ye tertiary ye school pomu sabre na yentua ensuo ka yentua nkane aka ni nya aban fa ni nyama ye 2014 former president Muhammad Shaw Carter the command vice chancellors suapo mu mpanimfo nyina se ene di aban ntimi emfa anyinamu kane aka biem aban ntimi emfa ensuo ka biem na obibia ne make preparations omomfam bail student omoma student anka sentia sabre ne pandemic mo na ono ade dum so aba former president Muhammad Carter said dabi ema ye choleta de command professor Ayite on na vice chancellor Olegon on na chairman for vice chancellor Ghana VCG ema ya beli omo se ukosua pon mu nyina omo ana omo da halls of residence mu no omo tua an average of 900 Ghana cedis na omo nso ana omo na mu bi no enso etua 500 Ghana cedis etu obi a na utility bills keke sabre na ofa even KNUST na 3 million Ghana cedis obefa UCC na 3.5 obefa Laguna na almost be 5 million enu kwa went miantua na afi na wode na ada ba be ka try so kwakope 2.5 billion na arehosem se na anokwa me no ma branch on ye national youth organization sha wa fidie ba ko so mebusa ne se ntu wunim asuapon wunim students wunim how many students wo so wunim they don't even know the number of students meanwhile oma yen hyehyeye for mo se ohwe average fee a omutua nyina na eye 2 point what the calculate ese omo so mefa ni nyina na almost 2.5 billion Ghana cedis na wo go fiscal we teacher training allowance na no watwam nursing training allowance former president mama watwam oso oniska feeding grant 30 million keke went to me ntua. O subsidy a wode ba ya na wo friend free SHS 37 million kra went to me ntua. Feeding grant yen nuanom a no mo ko srem a no mo ko school abi bi o se nketua ne de ma omo ye ma ye mo ye ofa aso no ye mofra a no mo ko eno ye ntua e ma brebia ne ato school mu we want me to na afa na wo de ndada akokofa paper we bia wa be kire se wo de wo sisesi a no fa ni nyina agro o mani su papa ye ni abre o ye mo bia mfa ndada e ma dabi because o ma te say scholarship secretariat say encry omo resource na bentino ye bie portal na dia momo and you see enye obi na kumentwe o buasia ko na de tidi atrema na no nanka wo no wo ye president you had the opportunity senka ubetimi a revive na wa source scholarship secretariat mu ye wantimi anye ene Kingsley Agyeman ba oye hoye last year oma 30,000 scholarships this year the project is 60,000 and was say be portal no sa de ama eye SHS for o menya admission ko university eno ho popo enti no yemfa sa krata fia we emra krata lack credibility wunhu say obi na akɔhye dem bi enkrankra bi na ahye dem na atro ene de abetu media so na nipa so defend enkrankra NDC for enkrankra na atro salete we ene omdo fu sampo fu din so hyase ono so di dia hyase na ni age because no chairman no sign adia look my national chairman will not do this. My national chairman Freddie Blay will not do this. Say adia chairman Sasha no. Now I throw a paper fian bi so letterhead ni so on one on sign here nothing. Let the other tuja. My national chairman Freddie Blay will not do this. You see, I know the show difference, no. Jabuja for ye mo bi anfa sa nada kana nan. Eti na no na yen kwete a no mo sa de tape biaba adia president Akufo-Addo kwakojibra ani wuo. Yen kwohwe tape no afekwa no o ma fere na ayi Adum TV do ma pacho nti. Oma pacho. Adum TV omo no oma pacho. Oh, because adia omu yiye no wo hwe krampa etan. Na nadu danko Akufo-Addo nani monyam no wontimi ntete no anya no. Na nadu eye keta sehye ne froye wontimi mfa ntata ne ho emfa. Eti on fi so menya bibi ni ye kakwenye je na ye ba be show video bi o na huhu na ebu aka omusim no omo campaign aton suom eti busuafo mesemo baby a ye dunia mo bi amfa ndada bi ama enya de a ye bete ase ni atwa to kra ni ese nyansa na nado danko Akufo-Addo oye omampani a odwene mabunu ho eti yen emabunu no ye frɛ no the man for the youth. Ono na aba na woma mabunu 1.2 million enya free SHS eko. Nana na aba obo ni sema odi napko aba. Na mabunu 100,000 enya adwuma eye. Nana na aba o say one district one factory 76. Brand new 28. Ye mofra emrantia mabunu over 11,000 enya adwuma mo ye wo. Nana na aba and now, Ministry of Education, yafa nyuma 93,000. Nana na ba uko Ministry of Health, and yafa nyuma over 90,000. Nana na ba security agencies yafa over 10,000. Nana na ba YEA afa nyuma over 180,000. Nana ado danko Akufo-Addo na creating nyuma 2,055,010 jobs. Oye emabunu dachi na nadwenya ho ni hihye ye bia ye mabunu ni bibia ye mabunu odwe ma dachi emabunu ho ye be hye Ghana for ahobrasem ni anidiem se na megina ha se ya na me hye nyame ya adom a aka nafu anaipe ye yine free mu a Friday Saturday Sunday Monday me hye yenka ka ye ho obibia nkanya ne ho na ye kwa yenka ye ko nyina na ewo ye trim number 1 na no mfantini abrante bi nyumo to ye no se ika nana ika yasro nana ne da hono ika yasro ho Mr. number 1 abrante no abonyo papa My best campaign song, no. Number 1, Abuja for Mesremo. Woko mention bibia medical kasa abatwe eye han ene esum na ado danko akufuado ejina ho ma ehan papa bi ena omampani dada mahama ojina ho ma esum kabi ono adi dum so bae etu ojina ho ma esum kabi anya nwanwa.
Hi, Peace 104.3. Why would you pay me? Did he say, wouldn't him say, despite media? And then she said, Bibri, I took him. Say parties now who doing now, manifestos. How many swadi huno, or mutrimopo, yeah, when you money pensing moon. Now, why would you and with when you want that Jenna Pine? Now, I want you to say, over to my A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Now,
your person, your mama who parties netrimopo. Now, what's me a Jina Swassi yet? Actually, the baby on my my Ghana, a Dutch
December 7th, a decision time. The GD said, despite media decision time,
Electoral Commission of Ghana I take a decision say political parties do back any one more frank NPP Omampeni His Excellency Nana Adudankwa Ekufuado NDC Omampeni Dada His Excellency